Welcome, everybody, to the Get Bit Podcast, a podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. I'm host the most, Will Buchanan, aka Black Spartan. Of course, the man to my left, you're right. I just read what he has at the bottom. What do you have for us, sir?
I'm Joe Snell, and unlike the Avengers, I can go below 14th Street.
With that being said, guys, we are the Get Bit Podcast. Of course, I do have a special guest right next to me. Introduce yourself.
My name is Chad, aka Tondro.
Oh, you go with Tondro. All right. Go ahead and go with Tondro. With that being said, guys, much like the WWE of old, we do kind of watch our language sometimes. And of course, we are kind of loaded up on the trailer side this evening, so viewer discretion is advised. Although we did try to find the cleanest of the trailers. I tried my hardest, but hey, it happens. But yeah, that being said, like I said, we're going to start with trailers because in the last 48 hours, we had quite a lot of news that has come through. I want to start with the one that no one saw coming, and now that I've seen the trailer for Tetris, I want to watch it. So if you're wondering how in the world did they come up with a movie about one of the original games and they made it seem interesting, here's a trailer for it.
Tetris?
Tetris.
Tetris. Tetris.
Tetris.
It's the perfect game. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I played for 5 minutes. I still see falling blocks in my dreams. It's poetry, art, and math all working in magical synchronicity. It's the perfect game. Tetris?
Tetris.
Tetris. Tetris.
Tetris. I don't get it.
It's a combination of tetra, Greek for four, and tennis.
Tennis.
The Russian inventor, he likes tennis. Hazel, yeah.
This game isn't just addictive, it stays with you. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Hank, only 10 other people in the world have seen what you're about to see. It's called the Game Boy.
Package it with Tetris. Can you get us the rights? The Soviet Union had worldwide rights. Nothing gets out easily. I'm gonna go to Moscow.
You're walking into a country
That still considers America enemy numero uno.
Okie dokie.
You sure you don't have to talk to your wife about this first?
Pioneers have to bet the house to win.
But not literally.
Listen. Have you ever heard our apartment this quiet before?
This is the inventor of Tetris.
Your game is brilliant. I'm gonna make you a millionaire.
Mr. Rogers, have you ever negotiated with the Soviets?
We're here for Tetris.
We've seen this только ради денег.
What do you say? I don't speak Russian.
The most powerful man in Communist Party is watching you and your family.
Do you know where your husband is?
What the hell is going on?
The world is changing, and Soviet Union will not be left behind.
You want to play with the big boys? This is how the world works.
Where is my money?
This is insane.
We can't protect you.
Sometimes you gotta forget the rules.
Will things ever be the same again?
Go!
This is criminal. The Soviet Union is about to implode. They're lying. Everybody's lying.
Go home! The cavalry is coming.
We don't have time.
I have a plan. Oh, come on. You guys are the kings of cliffhangers.
Not too bad.
All I can say is, if you don't know who that person is at the very end of that trailer, I'm gonna need to do some research. But what do you say, Chad?
I want to watch it.
But that was the trailer for Tetris. As you can see, it's going to be on Apple TV Plus, streaming March 31st. Joe, what did you think about the Tetris trailer?
I'm not sure if playing Final Countdown raises a red flag or not anymore these days.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, that sometimes that's a red flag. Sometimes that's a permission to launch scenario.
No.
But yeah, no, if it wasn't for the fact that this was on Apple TV, I'd be all over it.
Yeah, well, there's other ways to watch it, but I definitely want to see it, and I agree, Kelly. It does look awesome. But really quick, just because Joe has seen this movie, I hope along with others to go see this movie. Hopefully this weekend. But really quick, Joe, because I want you to give your impressions, sir, on Quantumania.
Very good movie. I'd say about, it's typical Ant-Man score of around 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Very Star Wars feel to this movie because of where they are.
Okay.
This has a very alien vibe to it. Everyone does a stellar performance. Drink the ooze. You'll know what that means sooner or later.
Okay.
And then Jonathan Majors just is a tour de force, and I look forward to encountering him numerous times and in numerous personas all the way until I am either the meaning of life or until I'm dead, whichever one happens first, because we're going to be with Kang for a while.
So I do got to ask this one question before we move on to the next trailer. And you don't have to answer it, not directly, but answer it in the way that I know you can answer it. Was Bill Murray's role that important or that abstract?
Is Venkman the soul of the Ghostbusters?
Thank you for that answer. Really appreciate that. But yes, Quantumania is out. Like I said before, Joe went to go see it yesterday. I, like I said, hope to go see it. Me and Chad and others hope to go see it tomorrow. But like I said, here on Get Bit, the main rule we do have is we don't spoil anything in the first time it comes out. We want everybody to enjoy it, much like the people on social media that like to post after credit scenes.
So there are two after credit scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all I will say, because I will not spoil things.
Yes, because
it's just more mentioned. Now, the one thing I will say that is not a spoiler is I'm fairly certain this Kang, it may be the Kang from Loki, season 1.
He Who Remains?
You'll get, once you get there, you get there. But something he says like, "Oh, you are that Kang."
Interesting.
I'll explain it to you later.
Fair enough. But yes, but we do want to know in the comments if you've seen it, did you like it? Please do not include direct things from the movie. Like I said, we want everybody to enjoy it spoiler free, unlike folks on social media that like to post stuff for clicks. Y'all chose violence. I don't know why. But also, like I said, we are trailer heavy, so we do got to also start with the trailers that we saw from the Super Bowl. We're going to start with the tearjerker, and I got a question for Joe. I'm going to have a question for Chad after this Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, because after watching this trailer, guys, I'm starting to wonder who's... Huh?
Didn't we do the trailers last week?
Yep, but there's a new one, and I want your opinion on it. This one actually came out for Super Bowl weekend. So this is actually the newest trailer out for Super Bowl weekend that I want you and Chad's opinion on. But for everybody else, here's the newest trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm Star-Lord. I formed the Guardians. Met a girl, fell in love. That girl died, but then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please. He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
I get the same old dreams, same time every night. Fall to the ground and I wake up.
My sacred mission
Is to create the perfect society.
He didn't want to make things perfect. He just hated things the way they are.
I want you all to know that I'm grateful to fight beside my friends.
Incinerate them.
searching for a family.
Until we found each other. Are you ready for one last ride? We'll all fly away together.
Into the forever and beautiful sky.
Whoever it was that you were in love with, it sounds more like her.
Her?
That's
Do not bring me into this.
Knock it off!
What?
You never noticed how black your eyes were.
They were replaced by my father as a method of torture.
He picked a pretty set.
All right, so that was the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the newest trailer that, of course, comes out May 5th of this year. So I have a question for Tanjiro here and for Joe. Y'all know that James Gunn has already sat there and said that this latest installment of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be the last run for the current team of Guardians. That being said, we also know that James Gunn is not shy about offing characters. So, my question, I'm going to start with you, Chad, first. Do you think, does everybody from the Guardians survive this trip, or do we lose some?
We lose some. Because I remember something about them saying that the actor for Drax is not going to do Drax anymore, so you think that they would kill him off. But when I looked at the end, it showed Drax with the others holding Star-Lord while he was dead. And is the actor for Star-Lord done too, or did the other guys say that he's staying?
They don't know yet. They haven't signed any contracts, but who's your picks?
I have a feeling that what was I gonna say? I have a feeling that they're going to somehow resurrect Star-Lord.
Well, he's not dead yet.
I know.
So I'm asking, who do you think's not going to make it?
Oh.
I'm not asking who's surviving. I'm saying who's not going to make it.
I have my bets on Drax.
All right. Joe, what about you?
All right, so the trailer is pretty decent. I think the final scene of them carrying Star-Lord out is actually the opening of the movie, and he's just drunk off his butt and just got knocked out in a bar fight.
I can see that.
Yeah. Drax most definitely, but Drax also's gimmick is that he gets to be reborn, so him being recast is never an issue.
Yeah.
Good chance Rocket won't make it out, but I also have that 50-50 that him and his otter buddy are just going to like chill on Earth. So that's always a possibility. Mantis most definitely, because Mantis is going to become very, very important very shortly because she is the cosmic Madonna, and that's a whole thing with Kane.
Yep.
So that's going to be a thing. If anything, probably Nebula, because I think she may be doing Doctor Who stuff again pretty shortly.
Yeah.
I think that's only a rumor, though. I don't know that's entirely confirmed.
No, but I think but you got a point. I can see that, but also I slick kind of see the entire group I won't say the entire group getting wiped out. I do see Drax probably biting it. I do see Nebula biting it. Star-Lord probably going off somewhere. Groot probably going off somewhere because Groot's immortal. He can't really die.
Well, actually, he can. So they have actually said that this is a different Groot.
Groot been lifted?
So when in the MCU, unlike the comics, it's not the same Groot.
Okay.
So every time a Groot dies, if you plant a new one, a Groot grows, but it is a different Groot.
So
it's like Groot and Spike.
So you're telling me that the Groot that died in the first Guardians of the Galaxy and the one in the second Wait, so the one that died in the first volume,
he's dead.
Isn't the same one from the second volume?
Pretty much.
Correct. That would be like his dad or just a different Groot.
Then about this Groot, and that was in the holiday special.
Different Groot.
That was a totally different Groot.
Different Groot.
Different Groot.
But the Groot in Volume 2 didn't die.
No. It's that same Groot. The Groot from Groot 1 is dead from Volume 1.
Right.
Groot 2 from Volumes 2, the Groot animated Christmas special, and this one is a different Groot.
Right.
So whatever happened to that Groot, he probably died and was reborn.
No. What Joe is saying is that the Groot that you see now is different from the first one. Because the first Groot you saw in Volume 1, he's pretty much kaput.
Yeah, because he died from
explosion. He died. So he sacrificed himself to save everybody. But I like that though. I like the way of thinking on that.
So the other thing that I want to put out there is because we are closing out this version of Guardians, there's a good chance we're going to start being introduced to more cosmic people. So Fayavel, Marvel's daughter.
Who's Marvel?
Could possibly think she's a version of Quasar, kiddo.
Yeah. If you listen, you'll learn.
Moondragon is also a possibility because Drax being reborn, we could be introduced to Drax's family and Drax's daughter being Moondragon. Darkhawk's always a thing. This is a good chance to introduce the Nova Corps, Richard Rider.
That part. Introduce Nova. Which I hope. I would like to see Nova introduced in 3, especially with Warlock already being introduced. But I hope they introduce Nova. Nova has been a fan pick for the longest time, and we've been wanting to see him.
Personally, I love Nova as a character.
Well, the thing is that you and I want Rich.
Yeah.
But we all know we're gonna get Sam.
Yeah. But I can live with
not
that.
a bad thing so long as it's a iteration of comic book Sam and not Marvel's, or which one was it? Ultimate Spider-Man Sam.
Yeah, but I can live with that though. As long as there's a Nova, I can live with that, whether it's Sam or Richard, I can live with it. But speaking of things that did, speaking of Marvel, as you did mention, a new poster that I want to throw in here before we get to our next trailer came out that I want everybody's opinions on. And this poster here, which of course shows the Marvels, you'll notice that the date has been pushed back again to November 10th. But we do see Miss Marvel, we do see Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, and we do see Photon, Miss Monica Rambeau. So of course, still not a lot's been said about the story. We still don't know how these three are going to be really brought together, considering the fact that, you know, they're all at this moment. Captain Marvel is still somewhere out in the cosmos. Monica, last time we saw her was somewhere after WandaVision. And of course, Miss Marvel, Miss Kamala Khan herself, was just finding her groove as a superhero. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with, or how they're going to bring them together, or who's going to be the main enemy. But I'll start with you first, Chad. What do you think, seeing that we're seeing our first indication of the Marvels that'll be coming out November 10th?
So the person on the top is the one from the Captain Marvel movie?
No. The person at the top is from WandaVision, because Monica Rambeau.
Yes, I remember her.
Remember the little girl from Captain Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
From Captain Marvel? Mm-hmm. That's her. And there's a complicated history. What happened between Captain Marvel and what happened in WandaVision? There's a complicated history there that they're going to probably cover. So there's a story there. And of course, you already know about Miss Marvel, who in my mind is an MCU fan, that's a superhero, that's also an MCU fan. And I respect that.
So she's basically the definition of all Marvel fans that like Captain Marvel, just an actual Marvel character.
Yeah, she's a fan. She's an MCU fan, because trust me, she is definitely, after go after Kevin Feige multiple times, she definitely is an MCU fan, because she loves to point out certain things. But that was the post they put out, and of course, November 10th. Hopefully, as long as they don't keep pushing back the date. we'll eventually get to see that. Now, speaking of things, actually, I wanted your opinion on this as well, because I know, Chad, you haven't seen this yet, but me and Joe have. And well, Joe saw it a lot quicker than I did. And even though this right here is just Hollywoodland and Disney, Hollywoodland and Disney California Adventure, this new character, Moon Girl, has actually appeared and is now there at Hollywoodland in Disneyland, California. So the reason why I bring her up is because Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is now available on Disney Plus, all current 6 episodes. I've actually seen a couple of current episodes. So I gotta ask your opinion, Joe, because I know you've seen it. What did you think of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur?
I saw the 44-minute episode and the one with the internet troll. I didn't realize the other 3 were out.
Oh yeah. But I mean,
you guys have a good night.
No, but realistic. I mean, I watched up until episode 5 before I had to move on to other stuff. It is exactly everything that I hoped for Moon Girl would be.
I love it so much. It's so good. The animation's fantastic. My favorite part still is that she didn't know what her mom's tape deck was until midway through.
Yeah, that was interesting. It's like, oh, you have a cassette player. Is this what this is?
And Grandma. I love Grandma.
Oh, Grandma knew from Jump Street who she was. Grandma knew from Jump Street.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, even the first episode, it's like, yeah, you ain't getting past Grandma.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I just like the fact that it is so relative, and at the same time, it's funny. Devil Dinosaur trips me out because that's just like Clifford. He's like Clifford the Red Dog, except with claws, but he is still a lovable dinosaur. But no, I just thought it was great. I know, Chad, you haven't seen it yet. You will get to see it.
I saw the trailer for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Devil Dinosaur reminds me of a Pokemon called Tyrantrum.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
You being a Pokemon fan, I get that. What do you say, Joe?
The music in this, though,
music in this is very well done.
Like, it's legit.
Yeah, it's very well done. But again, if you haven't seen Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, like I said before, it is available now. The first 6 episodes are available on Disney Plus. I highly recommend it just because it is definitely worth the wait.
The one thing now I got because of Quantum Mania is now any project they put out that's Marvel based, I'm gonna be looking for Kang.
I can see that because he's gonna be everywhere. However, he will not be in this next trailer that we're going to be showing. It's kind of a quick one. The reason why it's a quick one because Little Mermaid gave us a trailer with our first look at Ursula, and I'm going to pause it because it is a very quick look, but you guys will see what I'm getting at.
Out of the sea, wish I could be. Part of that
Okay, so I had to stop it right there because, like I said, it is a very, very, very quick look at Ursula. And even me pausing it in slow motion, because for all those that don't know, Melissa McCarthy will be playing Ursula in the live action Little Mermaid. And this is a shot. Now, don't get me wrong about this shot. And I apologize. I tried to make it as bright as humanly possible, but, current technology. So I apologize if it's a little dark. But that's actually our first look at Ursula in The Little Mermaid. And I'm going to be honest, I have a niece. And I still have kids. And I still want to take this movie just because I think it's going to be awesome. Chloe Bailey can definitely sing. So for the simple fact of the matter, that's not going to be a problem. But yeah, Joe, any thoughts on this first look at Ursula?
I didn't realize Melissa McCarthy was going to be Ursula, so now I'm mildly less interested.
Dang. Not Molly less interested.
I thought we would be getting like a black actress for Ursula to keep it going, but
Nah,
I just don't see Melissa McCarthy as like Ursula, the one that I grew up with.
Oh, we won't get that.
I see her as like funny evil, like Venture Brothers evil.
You'll probably get funny evil, but you're not gonna get original Ursula from the animated. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get vindictive Fran Drescher. I'm sorry, you're not getting that. But Chad, what do you think?
I've seen this trailer before.
Of course, but what do you think of Ursula now you've seen it?
I have some thoughts. Are they going to do how they did in the animated one? Is it just going to be a reboot of the animated one?
Well, I mean, it's the same story. They might have some differences because it's live action. A lot of things in an animated movie they can't do live action, so there may be some changes. We don't know that yet, but I am inclined to definitely go see it. But Joe, what did you?
I want to see King of whatever his name.
King who?
I can't remember his name.
You're a Disney kid, and you can't tell me the name of the King and Little Mermaid.
I can't because I don't watch that movie anymore.
Well, to be fair, can you tell me the name of the orca from the Little Mermaid anime series?
Orca? The animated series.
What?
Oh crap! I know it too. That's the sad part.
All right. Hey, there you go, Chad. I got one for you.
The sad part is I know it, but it doesn't come to me right now because I was gonna say flounder, but that's not him. You're talking about the orca. It'll come to me later, but no, it's gonna be yep. And your mom's ratted you out, by the way. You've never seen it. Your mom's ratted you out, but no, Little Mermaid looks like it's gonna be definitely interesting. So I have no issues from there. But yeah, aside from that, there is another. Like I said, we're trailer heavy, so we're trying to kind of get to them with some news in between. But this next one, I'm sorry. And Chad, I'm gonna apologize to your mom because I'm playing this trailer and you're just gonna have to watch it, close your eyes. But John Wick, leave it to certain movie companies to drop trailers at times we need them the most.
I finally figured out what this franchise is.
A very bad PETA commercial.
This is just the Warriors, but with guns.
Yeah.
I just want roller skating baseball clowns to start coming at him, and he's in Queens.
You might get your wish because it's kind of similar to that. But for all those that haven't seen it, here's the John Wick Chapter 4 trailer.
This hit goes out to you, Mr. Wick.
42 regular, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so it begins.
Yeah. Living in this time behind enemy lines, so I got mine. I hope you
Challenge him to single combat.
If you win, you'll have your freedom.
And when I see you, I'ma take what I want, so
Amen.
you ain't real, hope y'all feel the wrath of the killer. Many try, many die. If you wanna war, get it bloody.
Step up on your ego.
Come on. The only way John Wick will ever have freedom and peace is in death.
Yeah. Not really.
So, Joe, you didn't get roller skates with bats. You did get a fight in full-on traffic.
And of course, Hiroyuki Tagawa is going to be running the Japanese consulate.
Yeah.
So, my big prediction is that Carrion,
Mm-hmm.
the guy that the manager of the original hotel,
Yeah.
the black guy,
Yeah.
he's actually the head assassin, has been the whole time. And this is just a big proxy thing, and he's just wanting John Wick to take his place.
You know what? If that would be
or
the
Sharon,
smarter-
not Carrion, Sharon.
No, yeah, Chiron. You're right. It's Chiron. If he was instead of the ancient that keeps showing that he's the head assassin, that's saying something. Because the whole time it's like, yeah, that would make sense because even in chapter 3, when the whole battle at the Continental, he really did get untouched. I just noticed that
he would just head out there and then just come back completely spotless.
Yeah, he was
I need some more ammo.
He was untouched compared to Wick. Wick was dodging, diving, flipping. This man walked in and he walked out. You might have a
He
point
came
about
back
it.
again.
Yeah,
got a few more shells and walked right back out.
You know what? You might have a point about him.
This desert dude, he's just a proxy.
Yeah, you might have a point about him actually. But yes, that's John Wick Chapter 4, March 24th. No, Chad, you can't go see it for various reasons. You definitely cannot go see it.
No, actually, I was gonna say I've watched them all now.
Mhm.
The violence, despite there being a lot of it, is actually very minimal.
Yeah, I mean it's more gun fu than anything else, but yeah, I can't sell that with his mom. But that's
It
March.
actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you still can't see it. March 24th is when it's coming out, so definitely check that out. I did want to cover this news because I have to, and dang,
That's the one thing I was gonna say. But they missed probably the best thing they could have done.
What's that?
Instead of Donnie Yen with the sword, we need Chow Yun Fat with guns so we could have
Not the replacement.
Wick versus Tequila.
I can see that. Have a little bit of a replacement killers. I can see that. I can live. You know what? I wonder if they ever did approach Chow Yun
John
Fat.
Wick versus Hard Boiled. Just let them go. How many bars can they slide across?
That's a whole lot of shot dodging. Wow. That's a whole lot of shot dodging now that I think about it. But I also have to give Joe credit for this as well, because at first I thought this was a rumor. I said, you are not going to give me hope about this. But this part is actually true. What I mean by this is, guys, is I try to pull this up because if you are a PlayStation owner, of course, PlayStation Plus always comes out with a catalog. However, in this particular catalog, of course,
man, they dropped this is one of the times where you get what you pay for upping your subscription.
Pretty much. Now, of course, as you can see here, guys, this is the catalog that's going to be dropping February 21st. Outriders, if you haven't played that, it is a looter shooter, very good. Horizon Forbidden West, me and Joe have both played it. It's beautiful, awesome, game of the year worthy. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. As a Resident Evil fan, I thought this was a great way to resuscitate the franchise, especially after 6. Because if you haven't played 7, you should. If you haven't played Resident Evil 8 Village, you should. But again, it's free now if you have PlayStation Plus Premium. Borderlands 3,
give or take.
I mean, it's Borderlands. You don't really have a bad time with Borderlands. You really don't. Especially with 3, because there are so many DLCs with it. The Quarry, again, is a narrative-driven survival horror game. Very well done, the story. I have no issues with that. Scarlet Nexus.
I've tried it. It's do you remember the old PS2 game Psyops?
Yeah.
It's anime Psyops.
Gotcha.
It's really fun.
Yeah, because I've never played Scarlet Nexus, but now I have a reason to, because now I have to worry about dropping money on it. So that is part cool. Now, with all that being said, that's the tip of the iceberg, because the part that Joe told me about, he said, keep reading. I said, okay, cool. I'll keep reading. And of course, as I got down to the bottom, something just stuck out to me. And as I get to it, I had to sit there and almost cuss myself out. And of course, I am talking about under the PlayStation Premium, they do offer PS1 games. The one game that I have been wanting to play so bad, Legend of Dragoon. It is a JRPG game that really should have been remade. I cannot tell you, as a fan of this game, if you're a fan of Wild Arms, Final Fantasy, Secrets of Mana, those types of games, Legend of Dragoon shit is definitely up there. And if you don't know about Legend of Dragoon, YouTube it. And now, because you have PlayStation, on the 21st, you can actually download. I think that's I'm sorry, with PlayStation. I'm sorry, for PS1 games, it's streamed. I don't know if that's going to be downloadable or streamed, but it's probably going to be one of the two. But you're still going to be able to play it. But Joe has showed me this, and I was screaming my head off just because it has been so very long since I got to play it, and I get to relive one of my favorite PlayStation Premium Classic games in a few days. Of course, Wild Arms 2, Destroy All Humans. If you haven't played that, also a fun game. Harvest Moon, Back to Nature. It's kind of a different RPG, but more family related. And The Forgotten City is also good too. But Joe, I had to give you this, dude, because at first you turned around and kind of jerked my chain a little bit, so I went down there and saw it. But your thoughts on the outside of the games that we're getting with this catalog? Any other thoughts that you have on this recent update?
I'm really happy. I legit just bought a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, so you have a good old time, especially you get to play Deathloop if you wanted. That's another game I wish I could play.
We both know what I'll be playing once I can afford it.
That is also true, but I'm just throwing out suggestions. But yeah, Chad,
I'll probably buy it tonight.
But Chad, I'll have to show you Legend of Dragoon, because that is one of the say what?
The only other game I would love for them to add would be Legend of Legaia.
That needs to happen. Another game I'm hoping, because those between Legend Gaia and Legend Dragoon, those were two of the 3 JRPG games that we wanted back that were voted highly. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does show up. But speaking of games, however, Midnight Suns has a DLC, and I got questions. But here we go. This is the Redemption Venom DLC trailer for Marvel Midnight Suns.
I caused a mountain to hurt in the name of some freaky demon lady. She didn't do all this. I did.
Oh, but humans do love a moral dilemma. So let's make a deal. Stop the vampire uprising. Then I will cure this pathetic creature forever.
Mephisto said I would find what I seek where it all began. Gotta be here, right?
I'll see the rest of you very soon.
Okay, and that is the trailer for Venom's DLC Redemption for Midnight Suns. As you can see, available February 23rd. But if you have the season pass, you're already included into it. So I know Joe, Marvel Suns is one of the games that he was looking into. But Joe, what do you think about the DLC? And because I know you're one. Does it get you hyped? Does it make you want to play it? I want you to know your thoughts on that. Hold up. Hold up, Joe. You're muted. All right, try now.
Anyway, as I was saying. No, I'm gonna play it regardless. As for Venom and Deadpool, I mean, when I get there, I get there. But I've been hyped for this for a long time. Mostly just so I can play as Magic. I'm not hiding that.
Oh, we know. We know. We know.
I have to prove it's more than a fanboy thing. I'll break out every New Mutants book I own. No, I've just been really looking forward to this, and now I get to play it soon. I will probably buy that tonight, even though I shouldn't.
Treat yourself.
I'm trying not to overly treat.
Treat yourself.
I did.
I mean, I'll just keep throwing it out there because although PS5s are starting to get a little bit more available now, hey, take it and run with it. Because I know there's a few games on next gen that I'm looking forward to that I can't wait to play.
I also want to play the game that cannot be named.
Right.
And if you do get that, I recommend two way of getting what you do. You get that game.
I'll tell you later.
And then you donate to your local trans charity to offset the cost, because here's what you do. It is proven that she gets 20% of any sale.
Nice.
That is her cut. So you donate 40% to your local trans charity, or you get it used and she gets squat.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's not going to get anything if it's a used game. She's only going to get new sales.
I thought she didn't get anything, but I was wrong. I thought she didn't get anything from that.
Nope, she does. It's in the contract because it's anything involving that world.
Makes sense. But also, we do have some other movie news as well, because, of course, this brought up to me by Joe, because Deadpool 3, we have a villain, but I have to ask Joe a question about this casting. What I mean by that is this young lady right here, Emma Corrin, if I mispronounced your name, I certainly apologize. She has been cast as the main villain in Deadpool 3. Now, keep in mind, Deadpool 3 is still script and writing. Here's what we know. In Deadpool, Hugh Jackman will be reprising his role as Wolverine. That is all that we know about this. But that being said, speculation has risen about the young actress here as far as what villain she'll play in the MCU. So, Joe, I got a question. Just if you have any speculations or any ideas on who she could play in Deadpool 3.
Deadpool's future potential one-time wife, the Queen of the Monsters.
I can see that. I got a better one, and Screen Rant beat me to it.
Who?
Mojo World.
Strife?
Yes. Because I
always
think
picture Strife as being black.
Yeah, but I can see them going differently. And the reason why I say that is because down here, that's what the speculation could be. One theory was that it could be Gwenpool. Another one could be Mojo. Another one could be Spiral. I'm gonna be honest. I'm more in line to think it'll be Spiral, just because if they do Spiral, it does introduce Mojo in Mojo World, which could work in the Deadpool world. that's the thing about not knowing what it could be. Now, I'm gonna ask my co-pilot here, Tandro, how much do you know about Deadpool? Because I know you watch a lot.
Okay, so what I know about Deadpool is that Wolverine is a common enemy of Deadpool.
Nah, more like frenemies, but go ahead.
And the universe that Deadpool is in, the Avengers do not exist. But I feel like
not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore with the current lineup, but keep going.
If I would have thought it would be someone like Silver Samurai, but never mind that theory.
Yeah, we kind of waved Silver Samurai in the distance, Chad.
Yeah.
We waved in the distance with the Wolverine and Silver Samurai because they made him into a cybernetic robot. But
that's actually still not a bad movie.
I could kind of coincide with that, but I'd be lying.
It's better than Wolverine Origins, X-Men 2, and most of the X-Men films.
True. Although Logan was my favorite Wolverine movie.
Oh
but,
no, I'm not comparing it to Logan. It's nowhere close to Logan.
Well,
I'm
true.
just saying it's not a bad movie.
Yeah,
like
no,
you want to watch the Wolverine saga of Wolverine, you go X-Men, X2, The Wolverine, Days of Future Past, Logan.
Fair. That's fair. Although Days of Future Past really just reset everything, which made X-Men First Class worthless. But yeah, like I said, all speculation. We don't know exactly who she'll play, but we are looking forward to Deadpool 3 just because we will get Wolverine and Hugh Jackman again. Even though we do know Professor X himself, Mr. Patrick Stewart, which we'll get into because Joe got to see the first episode of Picard. I'm still working my way back through season 2, but we'll get to Mr. Picard in due time. But he has
say this engage.
Yeah, because he has been told to be put on standby for his Professor X role. What does that mean? We really don't know at this moment. Being put on standby means he still may be somewhere in the MCU beyond his one-time role in Multiverse of Madness. We really don't know yet. We just know standby means he may be called up. But before we get to Picard, I have to do this for number one reason, because there is another trailer that they did show during the Super Bowl. Well, during the Super Bowl, which actually led to the website to actually watch the trailer. And I have to watch it, number one, because it gives me nostalgia, but I have to wade through a lot of crap to get to it. I'm talking about the Flash trailer.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Mario. Wait, do we have the Mario Brothers trailer?
We do as well. I have that as well. I have the plumbing. I have the commercial as well. But we have to wade through a little bit of crap first to get to the scene that everybody loved, especially for me and Joe at our age, because we got to see our quintessential Batman once again. Here's the trailer for The Flash.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe. So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one?
Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not going to lose her again. Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. My face. You saw my face.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe.
Sorry. We've been waiting for you.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want some help?
You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back, there might not be a future.
What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm Barry.
We're Barry.
Barry, what are you doing? Our kids are going to want to see this.
it's just hearing I'm Batman. But that was the trailer for The Flash. As you can see, comes out June 16th. I am gonna go see it just because to see Michael Keaton don the cape again, to see Ben Affleck, although we might be seeing Batfleck for a short time or a long time, we don't know yet. It is gonna make it at least worth that. But not enough prep time Batman in the world can make me forget about Ezra Miller. And the fact that DC execs are sticking with him for his extracurricular activities. But yeah, I can't help but get back to being that kid watching watching Tim Burton's Batman for the first time and literally hearing just Michael Keaton say those two words just puts me right back in that spot again. But Joe, any thoughts on the trailer as far as seeing Batman and just how he's fighting and things of that nature?
So that's the point of this trailer, is that this is a Batman heavy trailer.
Yeah.
And all trailers going forward will probably be Superman and Batman, or Supergirl and Batgirl heavy with some sprinklings of the Flash. Because if you notice, there's actually not a lot of Flash, but there's an awful lot of Batman.
Which I have to give Chris Fury at Blurred's Eye View credit for this. He had the perfect title, Batman and Friends. Don't call it The Flash, call it Batman and Friends. It goes over so much easier, which I was like, okay, I can live with that. Batman and Friends? Yeah, I can live with that title. But I mean, wait. Why are you, what's wrong, Chad? What, you over here just holding it in? What's wrong?
I'm just excited. I'm just excited to go see the movie because
we need words, sir.
Because when I first saw that trailer, as soon as I saw the Flash, I had questions before they showed the other Flash when he was going back in time.
Mm-hmm.
I had questions if they were going to use the Flash from the show or from the Justice League movie.
Well,
you'd only be so lucky.
It's interesting that you say that because there is a rumor. Nothing has been confirmed yet. James Gunn has already sat there and said that the future of Ezra Miller as a Flash is uncertain post this movie. But a lot of people, me and Joe, myself included, have sat there and said that Grant Gustin from CW's The Flash would make a perfect recasting of Barry Allen.
Wait, is Grant Gustin the one?
Or Wally West, yeah.
Is Grant Gustin the one that played in the TV show on Netflix?
The TV show on Netflix and CW. It's originally was on CW, then it now shows on Netflix. But yes, you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, to see Ben Affleck and to see him in the blue and gray suit, I was like, okay, I dig that. And of course, see Michael Keaton as the original Batman. That is pretty much was my welcoming into DC as well as comics. But I loved it.
I wonder if they're going to use CG to let him turn his head.
You know what? I'm gonna let that. I'm just gonna just wave at that one as it passes me by.
Oh, please! We both remember where he has to legit do this.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, I remember. Don't get me wrong. The thing about the Flash that he can be easily recast, easily explained.
The other thing that immediately creeps me out in this movie is once again he's using flash speed to be in contact with Iris, and that creeps me out to no end.
Yeah,
I honest to God wonder if Iris even knows who Barry Allen is, and this man is just creepily stalking her at this point.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. That's probably fairly true. But again, I guess we'll find out come June 16th. Now, I know, Joe, you had some thoughts about Picard. You saw season 3, which I have to get through season 2 because with season 3, I mean, we are seeing so many faces, especially if you're fans of the Next Generation. As you can see there, of course, you're going to see Dr. Beverly Crusher, William Rowe Riker, Counselor Troy, 7 of 9, and my personal favorites to see an older Worf and an older Geordi LaForge. But
who also they've recently shown on Twitter that Mika Burton, LeVar Burton's daughter, is also cast and plays Jordy's daughter in this series.
Oh wow! So that's why he said, "I'm not crying. I'm not crying. You're crying." But Joe, I know you saw.
Like, it's fun to be. She was like, "It's fun that it's fun that I'm Dad's tech assistant, even when I'm adult."
Yeah. So Joe, I know you saw the first couple of episodes of Picard. What did you think so far of the final season?
I've seen the first episode. I will say that this William Riker on the poster is very, very well drawn, but Jonathan Frakes is a wee bit heavier in the face.
Wow, I mean, good eating.
No, we know what he eats. We see this man make pizzas in his backyard on a regular basis. This is not the face of a man who makes backyard pizzas.
But I mean, good pizzas though. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I went right around that on purpose. No, I really dug the first episode. I can't wait for the next one. Kind of bummed about the death in the series, death in the cast. But it's the final season, so still, that super bums me out about that. I look forward to the rest of it. It's not to make a pun, but it is very engaging, very fun. It's a very, very big, like, say goodbye. This is like the final goodbye to TNG. It is not First Contact or whatever the last TNG movie is. So this is the final goodbye to TNG.
Oh, so it's a love letter. I can live with that though.
Oh, it absolutely is. And if we get another series going forward with either Riker or LaForge, I am all for it.
Especially LaForge. What are you gonna say, Chad?
Is Star Trek related to Star Wars?
No, two different franchises.
Oh,
two different franchises, two different stories. But one day I will show you Next Generation, and we'll see how you like it from there.
Just show him the new kids one.
Oh, Prodigy? Yeah, I can show him that. I can show him Prodigy. But speaking of things that are prodigies, there was a new commercial for the Super Mario Brothers.
Which is a deep cut, and I've called that number, and it is fantastic.
For all those that don't know, here's the commercial.
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. When your sink is in trouble, you could call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
Thank you, Super Mario Bros. It seems like the only thing you haven't drained is my bank account. For super service, call or text Super Mario Bros. Plumbing today at 92955
And as Joe will sit there and tell you, what happens, Joe, when you try that?
The number actually works. Luigi leaves a voicemail saying, hey, you can text us, and then you get a link to the Mario Brothers Plumbing site, which is also fantastic and full of little hidden goodies if you click all around the page and whatnot. For Will and I, we listened to this growing up on a constant basis.
Yep.
That theme song, supposedly, the woman in this thing is also the Super Mario Brothers Super Show original Princess Peach.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if that's been confirmed or not, but that is the ongoing.
That voice did sound familiar.
Yeah.
That voice did sound really familiar. Okay, Chad, because this was before your time.
I have watched the Super Show before.
Oh, then that's where it came from.
Yeah, this is the opening theme.
That's the opening theme. Why you had that confused look on your face?
I had the confused look on my face because I just got back from Chuck E. Cheese playing a Mario Kart game. It was so disappointing.
This is why you play Mario Kart after. This is why you don't play anything but Mario Kart 8, like Nintendo wants you to.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I think he might have lost. That's right.
I did win. I did win. It was just disappointing.
That being said, we're going to move on, guys, because we have to talk about The Flash on CW because the second episode, how can I put this in words? The second episode of The Flash, I can see, well, I said this to Joe in our chat, in our Facebook chat. This is going to become a chore. much like Batwoman was, much like Naomi was, this is going to be coming short. For all those that don't know, like I said, if you don't want to know what happened in the second episode of the final season of The Flash, now would be a good time to either mute us or come back to us after a few minutes. But Joe, I got to ask you this question because they didn't say Cobalt. They called her Snow. At the same time, did it feel like the story just unraveled itself halfway through the episode? Or is that just me?
This was less of a chore than last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine that they're getting the third Frost sister out there because they're just going to keep using the personas of Killer Frost personas. I'm fine with that. I actually kind of like that we got this universe version of the Fiddler instead of it being some kid who gets murked off by Eclipso.
Okay, it just felt like
get rid of Chilblain for right now. I'm more than okay with that.
He was an annoying
and we get
character.
Hartley, which I actually was fine with Hartley.
Yeah,
because I really dig him in the comics.
Yeah, but was it me or did it just feel like the villain kind of took a backseat to this episode?
I mean, it's them trying to do the A and B story, and the B story just happened to be stronger than the A story.
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm sorry, it just bothers me that it's almost like you're trying to wrap up a story, especially between Ultraviolet and what's his name. I'm like, will they stop with the will they or won't they? Either they're together, either they're not together. Why are we teasing this now for 2 episodes straight out after they kissed after the first episode? It's like, can a brother on a CW show just have peace? Why must he always have turmoil? Why can't
they're
he
almost on track according to Hades.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
say what?
They're almost there. According to Hades, they danced, they kissed. All they got to do is schmooze and then go home happy.
I just couldn't get into it. Of course, we did see the Red Death, which all those that don't know is basically Batman absorbing Flash and gaining the Speed Force, which we already did talk about because they did already spoil that little number, which again just tells me that they really don't have a lot of caring for this abbreviated season of the Flash. Which I wish
you have no idea. They just confirmed that Teddy Sears is coming back as Zoom, and that John Wesley Shipp will be back as Jay Garrick.
Well, they gotta wrap up the series somehow for it to be the last surviving member of the Arrowverse. So I
think the reason why Teddy Sears' Zoom is coming back is going to lead into how Red Death became Red Death. That would be my guess.
Possibly so. What do you say, Jeff?
I know who the Red Death is because the comic story version of him, Batman tried to take the Flash's speed so he could say something.
No, he absorbed it because he absorbed it because it's not the same Batman. He basically uses it for a means to an end.
And they combined into the Red Death.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're going to bring in the Black Flash.
That's Zoom, Chad. That's what Mr. Joe is saying.
The Black Flash is Zoom.
Yeah.
Well, in this universe, it was a poorly done version of Zoom, and I don't think they ever got rid of him in Legends of Tomorrow.
They never did.
So you're telling me that the undead Flash that can sniff speedsters out when they run with their speed is Zoom?
No, those are
in Phantom. This show, yes, he was Zoom.
In this show, yes, he was Zoom, but in the comics, those are Phantoms.
Oh.
That's a whole
different comic, he's a different thing entirely.
That's a whole different
invention of Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed is that the Red Death mask is a Zoom mask. So I'm wondering if so-and-so, whoever absorbed Barry, also absorbed Zoom.
That would be interesting.
Because if you go back and you look at the red mask scene where you finally get to see it, it's a Zoom mask just painted red.
Yeah, it is. So it would actually explain that, but I'm trying with Flash. It's just that I wanted to get a good send off. I just don't see it. But again, yeah, we'll wait for that. But anyway, we need a cleanser, and Joe gave us the perfect cleanser this week. If you haven't seen Teen Titans, this right here kind of explains Marvel versus DC in so many ways.
Also, you get to see Image.
Yep.
Swamp Thing! Superman! Aquaman! It's over, Titans! The competition is too powerful!
It looks like this is the end of DC.
Wonder Woman!
Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman!
All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old set fighting through.
Wonder Woman!
All right! Now that's how you destroy a successful business!
Yes. Thank you, Titans, for helping us save DC. And in honor of your heroics, I am officially promoting you all to the A-list.
So does that mean we're finally getting a conference room?
Oh, no. I've got something even better in mind for you. Behold. The Titan's toilet.
No
Are you
way!
serious?
This is the best thing ever!
Toilet! We did it!
Oh, I think we all need that cleanser. And that's how you destroy a successful business. But no.
I also like that they destroyed both the Image building and Dark Horse.
Yeah. Impressive, and also just so much honesty put in that. But that's the news that we have. Joe, anything else we got before we move on to our comics of the week, sir?
I mean, outside of that new Image coming out from Tom Taylor book, the new issue cover of Nightwing. I can't talk tonight. The new issue of Nightwing, where it's homage to The Burn, which I think is all that's really just called. There hasn't really been too many things. So do you have it?
I can get it. Keep going. I can get it.
There actually hasn't really been too much. No, really, there hasn't been that much. It's just been work all week.
Who you telling? Who you telling about that? But no. But it's interesting that he brings that up, just because very quickly, because I'm waiting for it to load on my side. This was actually the burn, as he calls it, and I think there needs to be some infringement rights, because honestly, if you look to where the mouse is on this side, where of course you see the meme there, I'm not saying it's equal, but it's close. But no, that's new. But that's new issue for Nightwing 104, where it is quote unquote the burn. I'll give him that. But yeah, couldn't knock it. I still like it. But as Joe is getting his comic books together, let me first go ahead and get our shout outs going. Especially over to our people that support us. I am talking about Rick's Comic City. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area, they have actually stores located in Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee. So if you ever get a chance, definitely stop by one of their locations. They have been voted Nashville's #1 place for comic book stores. Again, you can either go there, you can actually go to their comic book stores, or you can go online. As you can see, they do sell hard trades and hardcovers and graded comics there as well.
I have something to say about the Teen Titans.
Hold that thought for 1 second. But because I know you got something else about Teen Titans, but we got to pay some bills. But that also being said, guys, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, support your local comic book stores and libraries, as they do carry the most up-to-date mangas, animes, and multimedia for your viewing pleasure. So if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check out Rick's Comic City. But like I said before, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries, because you are going to miss them when they are gone. Now, what were you going to say about Teen Titans before we get to our comic book pulls of the week, sir?
So I feel like the way they show Wonder Woman against the competition, I feel like that was the movie Wonder Woman 1984 over all the Marvel movies. Because Wonder Woman was just like bodying Marvel.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're not wrong, but all right.
Yeah, well, okay. That's what they were hoping for. Sadly, that was not the case.
Yeah, that talk about shooting for the moon. But anyway, what we got for comic books this week, Joe?
First off, we have Lazarus, DC Universe, Lazarus Planet, Dark Fate. This is written by multiple writers. We have a standalone Huntress story. The new Doom Patrol's team is revealed in this one. Interestingly, Crazy Jane is leading the team. The Flash story is getting a new character called Circuit Breaker. Hopefully that means whoever the new Circuit Breaker is, they're not as hostile to Transformers as the last one was. And we get a new character, a new series. This is Zai, and I cannot pronounce her last name. My Chinese is very poor. This will be a new character going forward as part of the new DC universe. This is only known as the Envoy, a Spirit World story. This was written by Alyssa Wong with art by Hanning, colors by Sebastian Cheng, lettering by Janice Chang is Ching and Chang. Sorry, guys. And editor is Jessica Chen. There's going to be a very large push of Asian characters going forward in the new DC universe. Most of them are going to be mini-series, and we're going to see who sticks around. Their gimmick, is she is a spiritual medium or a Chinese exorcist. And her meta ability is with Chinese folding paper known as Joss paper. She can make weapons and tools. Her story is her and Constantine are teaming up to get Batgirl, who has been trapped in the underworld.
Right.
I am really looking forward to this one. There's another character coming up. They have not been introduced yet properly, but I believe it's Free Boy or something from a Korean team. Then there's another story called The Veil, which got debuted also in this issue, I believe. Also of API Descent. They're really pushing these characters in May because May is API month.
Yeah.
Me personally, I really like this character. Design's fantastic. I love the giant sword. Really cool looking that she's fighting Jiangxi, Chinese vampires, having to deal with Constantine and immediately calling him on all his BS.
Of course.
Is absolutely fantastic. But to also be fair, he calls them on their BS also immediately, and they're just like, well, you didn't pay me enough for me to give you the good stuff. So, really going to be keeping my eye on this. Moving on, we got Icon and versus Hardware. Go ahead and take it.
I am. So this is, of course, a milestone. If you don't know, one of the original milestones, which again was purchased up by DC. I don't want to give too much into it because number one, I highly recommend to read this. It does go into a little bit of the backstory of how they led up to how they've met. It does talk about the Big Bang, which eventually does lead to other characters, also known as Static. So the gist of this one, because I do want to keep this because I'm not going to give too much about this. Basically, think of it like Civil War. Hardwire knows of Icon, and Icon knows of Hardwire. Hardware has been suspicious of Icon because Icon is literally an older, probably more powerful superhero, but tends to remain in the background of history, which leads Hardware to actually look to see if they can find a certain spaceship, which actually leads to a time machine. And then because he finds this time machine, he decides that he wants to undo the Big Bang and other events that could possibly change time and the world as we know it. The only person oblivious to this would be Icon himself, who at the end of this book decides that him and Hardware need to meet. Now, I did skip a lot of the details just because it's going to go into Hardware's backstory as well as Icon's backstory, and I definitely don't want to spoil that for those that have never read an Icon and never read an Icon and Rocket or never read a Hardware comic. I highly, highly, highly recommend to go back and read it. You don't have to do a full backstory if you don't want to. The first few pages of this particular series does give you the gist of it, but I still highly recommend to go back and read it. Definitely did enjoy it. It does. I'm waiting to see what they do with round 2. I think this is going to be, I didn't really get to check see how long the series is going to be. I think it's going to be either 6 issues or 7 issues. I really need to go back and go check on the number of that. But again, I loved it, enjoyed it. I don't want to give so much away because, again, I highly encourage those out to read it. But yeah, loved it. It's one of those ones I wish I could go ahead and find a hardcover for to keep for myself, actually. But yeah, highly recommend it.
I tried it, but because I do not have enough experience with these two, I have more experience with Static.
Yeah.
This was a little hard for me to follow towards the end with all the time traveling involved. And honestly, I could not keep track of which one was Curtis.
Yeah.
Because Curtis kept rebooting.
Oh, it's definitely got a Doctor Who feel to it. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Still recommended. I want to keep the milestone imprint going.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very important imprint to have. So I cannot recommend this enough.
Yeah.
Moving on over to Marvel, we have Voices. This is Wakanda Forever. These are various stories, plus an introduction of Frederick Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
We get Old Ways, Education of Changemere.
Yeah, which was actually
what did you
very
think,
good.
Will?
It was actually a lot of great short stories. I also do want to give a shout out to one of my favorite artists, Marcus Williams, who did The Illusion of Fairness. Because I kind of went through there, I recognized his artwork, and I had to go back and read. It's like, he did the art. Oh, he did the illustration for this. If you don't know who Marcus Williams is, look him up. This man does Swaptober on his website and on Facebook and on his Instagram. Beautiful, definitely very talented artist. Definitely check him out. But no, the short stories, all of them were interesting. I do like The Last Black Panther, Remember the Name, The Education of Changemire, The Old Ways, The Illusion of Fairness, which again, all of these, albeit they're short stories, but they are definitely engaging. I kind of feel like because this is Marvel's Voices, I think they're trying out certain characters similar to Planet Lazarus. I think they're trying something out to see if some characters resonate with others, as well as telling some stories, especially about former Black Panthers, especially the last Black Panther, who actually got to commune with his ancestors in a certain way. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it's a good read. I will say that it's like I said before, a lot of testing with new characters. I think that they're just trying to see what they're trying to go with, because the next Black Panther issue is coming up. But Marvel's Voices Wakanda Forever #1 is definitely a recommended read.
I really enjoyed Old Ways. I got to learn a lot more about the royal family and the different types of Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite one out of all of them.
Oh, especially some Black Panthers told like it was. It was like,
oh yeah, no, that's fine. I would sat there and the way they were talking to us, like, are you sure you're not a Korean auntie?
Some of them were like, yeah, this is kind of your fault.
Some of it was barbershop talk, and then some of it was a life lesson.
Yeah, but no, it was a good read.
The other thing I really liked is that Jordi Belair crossed over to DC on Education and Change Matter to do the color work, and it shows.
Yeah,
I kind of wish she had done some of the artwork too, because Jordi Belair. I mean, we've talked about Wonder Girl.
Yeah,
and what happens when I read Jordi Belair Wonder Girl?
Yeah, which again, talented illustrator. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Moving on over, we are at Nightcrawlers, which is part 3 of Sins of Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
This is written by Cy Spurrier with art by Paco Medina, J. David Ramos for colors. This was a bit more enjoyable than the Storm one because we got to see just more of the universe because this is year 10.
Yeah.
We get to see the final Sinisters revealed, and we just get to see like fun things with like the Nightcrawler chimeras and Spidey Chimera and Laura Chimera and
I've never seen nothing more frightening than a Wolverine what they call them?
An X-23 Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that's freaking scary.
Oh, what?
Okay, Chad, put it this way. Picture Wolverine and Nightcrawler if they were the same person, but had both abilities.
At that moment, I might as well just head to a different country.
It wouldn't help. It'll just track you down.
Oh yeah. He can smell you and then teleport to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a dangerous foe. That's all I'm saying.
No, I mean, the only one that's
on his bad side.
The only one that's more scary is probably Wallcrawler because there's no fighting him.
Right.
Because he's got Spidey sense.
And it's like he'll see everything coming.
And he can't kill him. I'm going to say this now.
Mm-hmm.
Quit pitting Spider-Man against Batman in these battles. I don't care how much prep time Batman gets. It's called spider sense. He's going to avoid everything.
I always laugh when they try to say Batman can take Spider-Man. I'm like, no, he can't. I was like,
Superboy couldn't take Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like, no, Batman cannot take on an agile, 10 times stronger, Spidey sense individual
with limited precog ability.
Yeah, that's not going to end well for Batman.
And then the newest one I saw is Bat Family versus Spider Family with 2 days of prep time. Spider sense and every other Spider-Man family member has a different power on top of Peter's powers.
And look, prep time is not the Goku plot armor for Batman. I'm sorry. It's not.
I mean, you surround the Robin surround Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica just uses pheromones.
And that'd be the end of it.
You surround Miles. Miles just turns invisible and shocks you.
Yeah. Venom strikes everybody. Again, I don't look, I'm a Batman fan. I am. But come on now. Let's Batman has limits. Batman has limits. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, Joe.
The other thing that's terrifying in this book is this is legit the first time you see all the versions of Sinister in one place. Like the full house of cards of Sinister are in one place.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It is. But the fact of the matter that all of them are vying for the seat of power.
Well, except Mother Righteous. She even says, like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah. Well, she knows.
She's like, you guys do your own thing. I'm over here doing my gig.
Well, it's like she knows death follows. I mean, ask Dr. Stasis.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, he had it coming.
Well, I mean, yeah, he kind of talked mess until he realized about the tail.
Yep.
he realized till the tail popped up.
Moving on over, we get X-Men 19. This is written by Jerry Dugan, art by Stefano Caselli, colors by Federico Blee. We're pretty much following up from where we last left off. So this is X-Men, and they stated that these adventures happened right before Sinister happened.
Yeah.
And this is also tying into a Captain Marvel thing because Captain Marvel was also dealing with the Brood. The X-Men answer Corsair's distress call. Meanwhile, Forge and M go and do other things that are Space Odyssey 2001-esque.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can put it.
Mm.
Meanwhile, the X-Men are getting ready to relive Aliens.
You're not wrong, but I just not thought about that. I just thought about that as you said it. I was like, was that not scene for scene the first 30 minutes of Aliens?
And poor Sync now has a drawback to his powers, which kind of need it because Everett's ridiculously overpowered at this point.
Yeah, he can't extend while he's actually using it, so they got to put in some caveat, because if that's the case, then he's OP.
I mean, he's already OP at this point because, I mean, like, if he gets any stronger, he's right up there with Darwin and, like, Prodigy.
Well, true. But, I mean, giving him a fault like that, giving him a limit does make sense.
Yeah, like, the new limit they established with Everett is he has to be within 10 feet to get a new power.
Yeah.
But if he syncs with somebody further than that, he starts to age. So he can get Jean's powers if he's on the other side of the planet. She's elsewhere because he's trained in his power. But now the drawback is he starts to age if he doesn't get anybody within a certain radius limit.
Yeah. Which ain't bad, but I mean, he got Jean's powers. It's like, what else does he need? You have an omega level of mutants' abilities powers.
Yeah.
I don't see what else you would need to defeat the X-Men.
No, it's not. Well, not defeating the X-Men, but just having Jean's powers is kind of enough. It really is kind of enough. But
I forgot that the older Laura is going as Talon now.
Yeah. Because it
was throwing me off until I reread it. It's like, all right. So no, it's just basically what if aliens and the Brood have happened before. The Brood are kind of terrifying. Jean, meanwhile, is looking for Brew with all the other psychics.
Yeah.
What's the Brood?
The Brood is basically, how can I explain this in 30 seconds? The Brood is basically a race of aliens that's similar. You know how the Kree are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, same thing.
Oh, I've heard of the Brood before.
Yeah, same idea.
It just popped into my head.
Yeah.
There's actually an episode of X-Men the animated series you can watch, Chad, that explain it.
Yeah, I saw that episode.
But no, not a bad issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the same.
Not a bad issue. Yep. Looking forward to see how this continues in Captain Marvel, because Carol and the Brood are quite the intimate history.
Ain't that the truth?
Finishing out, we're looking at Grimm 8. This is written by Stephanie Phillips, art by Flavanio, and colors by Rika Renzini. We will not also go into this a super bunch because this has like dramatic consequences in this issue, but we'll just say that the main character, Jessica Harlow, has to make a choice, and that choice pretty much is the big choice. Also, things at we'll just call it Death Corp because we don't have Reaper headquarters. Things are not going well on their end either.
Death Corp.
We'll go with that. Other comic book news. We don't.
Now go ahead,
Yeah,
Joe.
you are not old enough for this book.
You're not old enough for that
other comic news, comics that we just didn't have time to cover. Dead Lucky ended. Is completed its first chapter on chapter 6.
Okay.
All went well. And then officially announced it will be picking up in this summer's Supermassive event. So once all the books hit their newest chapter, they're all going on pause for the Massiveverse because Supermassive is coming out.
So Supermassive 2 is coming down the pipe.
Is coming down the pipe, and just like the last one, Supermassive 2 will be introducing No One, who is getting their own podcast with Rachel Lee Cook and Patton Oswalt. I've listened to a couple of the podcast things. We are officially getting the Massive versus Batman. Probably the better way of putting it, Batman meets John Deckard.
Oh. So we're getting a Thomas Wayne as Batman.
Yeah, we're getting a John Deckard Batman.
I'm not against that.
I'm not either. I am not either. The issue for Dead Lucky is really good. We get a bit more explanation of her powers and whatnot. We get a bit more explanation on her background. We finally set up the main villain for the story. We set up what the status quo is for Beatty. We also get a nice recipe for corn frittatas.
Oh, they still love giving those recipes out. That's
Look,
funny.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to have.
Hey, what better way to learn it? I'm not gonna complain. But cool. But thank you, Joe, for that. For the comic book pulls of the week, sir. That's much appreciated as we're about to kind of see the end on this. But anyway, anything you got going on the horizon that you want to let people know about?
If I get the time, I'll start back up on One Piece. I just needed a small break, as you do with One Piece.
Yeah.
I
haven't. Just because you're ahead of me doesn't mean you can tell me. Well, you're just walking off in the distance. But go ahead, Joe.
It's okay, Chad. This game is nowhere near where you and I are. So this takes place right after Whole Cake Island. So they aren't even near Wano yet.
Really?
What?
Let it go. What else you got going on? Joe?
Oh God, if I knew. I think we're just kind of chilling and going as we're going on. I think the next event we're gonna be probably Creed 3 will be the next thing I want to be going to. I think that's the next one coming out.
Yeah, Creed 3 is next.
Comic wise, I think we got Shazam in March.
Yep.
And then at some point, I will be doing Midnight Suns and whatnot. Chad, no matter how much you pose, you can't transform. I've tried it, and I'm much more Japanese than you are.
No, you're not.
I am exactly 1/4 more Japanese than you are.
Let it go, Chad. Oh.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Do you have a henshin belt?
I'm sorry, I just want to
No, he doesn't. I don't think have you ever watched any Kamen Rider?
What?
You never watched? Okay. I don't think I ever showed you Kamen Rider.
No.
Okay.
I would start him on 01. It's free. It's on Tubi.
Yeah, I think I saw him on 01 because I think I'm about to say I don't think Chad's ever
Yeah,
seen
he
Kamen
definitely
Rider.
isn't old. He's not old enough for Kuga.
Yeah. I won't show him that. I will definitely not show him that.
He's definitely not old enough for Black.
Woo! No, he cannot watch Black.
Now, original Black, he's absolutely old enough. But
yeah, but the modern one, no. Not the modern one, no.
No.
It's a little too advanced for you.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Right.
Okay.
Just stick with Kamen Rider 01.
Yes, that's what you need.
Learn to be friends with robots by kicking them.
Yeah. Just stick with that.
So it's a knockoff of Transformers.
No. I'll show you later. But what else you got
Power
going?
Rangers, but with Bugmen on motorcycles.
Yeah. I'll show you later. What else you got, Joe?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm just looking forward to all the Toku stuff getting ready to come out. We're getting ready to have DVDs of Blu-rays of Kamen Rider Black, Black
Mhm.
RX. Deca Ranger just came out. I got to get me a copy of Deca Ranger.
Nice. Well, of course, you can always catch Joe on his YouTube channel at Total Justice Gaming. Of course, his Twitch channel at Joe Italian Last Name, where he does have his updated battle spirits with his decks. Do you have anything new that's coming down the pipe? Are you doing new decks?
I will be working on a tier list because the new set came out.
Okay.
So we'll see what I think about what deck does what. With what limited experiences I have with this set. I mean, I got some deck profiles out, but I am not versed in all the colors. I'm mostly versed in red and white.
Gotcha.
Green, blue, and yellow elude me, especially purple. You know, it is what it is. I'll get better with them at some point, and I'm getting better at reading Japanese. Duolingo's your friend.
No kidding. Or Google Translate has saved my butt many a times. But cool. With that being said, guys, we do have some other people we need to shout out that support the stream as well. Shout out to Chris Fury at Blurred's Eye View for sharing our podcast. I just now saw that, sir. I thank you for that, as the man is constantly working. Also, I do want to shout out our buddy Big BZA Dot. Vaughn himself, definitely check out his YouTube page at Big BZA Dot, his socials as well, as he does sell beats and does his usual TikTok posts. Definitely check him there out as well. I do want to thank my co-pilot for the night, Tanjiro, for being a part of the podcast as well. Of course, you can find me, aka the Black Spartan. I'm saying the Black Spartan because I have a very special thing coming if Amazon will freaking work with me. Because it's going to be awesome when it gets here. But I'm actually BlackVice447 on all socials. You can follow me on everything short of, well, everything, actually. I usually post reviews of everything that I watch, that I play, that I write, that I read, that I write, even gym stuff, because I do a couple of push-ups. Also, the link at the bottom is showing. Let me make that just a wee bit bigger for all you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, it'll take you to our link tree. That's YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts. How the Crap Got Here, Get Bit, and of course, the Optimus Podcast. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. We want to know what you guys think of the podcast. What did you like so far? Did you agree with us in our assumptions and our conclusions about shows and movies and video games? We definitely want to hear from all of you. As you can see, it is very easy to talk to us. We definitely do try to reach out to everyone. Also, guys, as we're wrapping this up, again, if you do go see Ant-Man Quantumania, do the right thing. Please don't spoil it. It is completely okay to sit there and say if you liked it or didn't like it, but please, no spoilers. Please, no after credit scenes. Just tell people there's after credit scenes. Now, if you've been to a Marvel movie, you're going to sit there till the screen goes white. But if you want to tell people, hey, there's an after credit scene here, here, and here, cool. Don't be that guy and share the actual thing on social media. You ruin the movie experience for all of us. That is all I'm saying.
Let Marvel do that for you, because more than likely, at least the final after credit scene, Marvel will probably leak that by Monday.
Exactly. So don't do Marvel's job because you will not get paid for it. But with also that being said, guys, if you are going to be traveling, especially if you are a frequent flyer, please wear a mask in areas where they ask you to wear a mask. I know it's inconvenient for some, but for those, especially in the hospital profession, present company included, will tell you, help them out. Wear a mask if need be. If you are sick, please stay home. As much as they don't say it anymore, we are still in a pandemic. We still have COVID. We still have the coronavirus. We still have many variants out there. When you protect yourself, you protect others, and that's how we're going to beat this pandemic and give our hospital brethren a break. They also need a raise, but that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story, as Joe will probably attest to right now. But aside from that, guys, last thing I'll say before we wrap this up, there is no competition in the things that you want to do. Even with podcasts, we support everybody else's podcast because they support us. We encourage them, they encourage us. I simply say this because not only in podcasting, but in life, there is no competition but yourself. We are rooting for you in whatever you want to do, whether it's your dreams of cosplay, whether you start your own podcast, whether it's your dreams of being the next Yaya Han. If it's up to you, go ahead and do it. But understand, there is no competition. The only thing blocking you from doing it is you. But we will still root for you the rest of the way. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Joe, any last words, sir, before we say goodnight, everybody?
There is no competition. We will root for you, unless you're a Melee Smash player. Also, I am really happy that Rihanna got introduced to Smash. We even got her stage and everything.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one. That being said,
I'm glad
guys,
she didn't get knocked off either. She was at a very high percentage. She dodged that mitt and dodged that mallet.
Oh, that is definitely the clip I'm putting up later. With that being said, guys, we will see you again next Friday. Same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel. He's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been our special co-host, Tandra. You're really just gonna go into the full yell right next to me. With that being said, guys, we are the Get Bit Podcast. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. We will all get through this. Have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe. Peace.